How you folks doing? Here with None here, and we're here talking about the patch notes coming up for Dragon Bones. Currently, Dragon Bones is going to be released tomorrow, and you're probably downloading the patch right now and looking for something to do while you wait. Take a look at some of the new stuff. So let's go over some of the stuff, and here's the highlights that I have. There's a whole lot more like fine-tuned stuff that you can go and take a look on the ESO forums. Hopefully I put the notes down or the links down below, but if I didn't, well, it's an easy Google search anyways. So first, two overall highlights are going to affect everyone across the board. One, removal of the 32-bit client system if you're on PC. That's going to be big for some of you. If you're downloading the patch now, you probably should be looking at Newegg or Amazon or some other shop like that to look at a new computer as well, because you're not going to be able to run it unless you're on a 64-bit machine. Second, champion points have been increased to 720 points. That means you're going to be getting a lot more passives into 2 trees now rather than just 1 tree. Okay, so let's start off with combat highlights, because combat highlights will cover your PvE stuff and PvP stuff, and it kind of affects everyone and how they're working on it. So anyway, damage AoEs now hit all targets in them. So in other words, if you're doing like a steel tornado, everyone that's in that steel tornado is getting hit. It's not limited to like the first 3 people that get hit or first 5 people. It's everyone, and that includes a lot of other abilities in there. So expect if you're in Cyrodiil and you're used to Zerg bombing, that's gonna be kind of quashed a little bit there. In addition to that, you're probably going to see a few more bomb builds coming in there, but people are going to spread out more, so how effective they're going to be, who knows. Cast time interrupts. Movement speed penalties are down by 25%, where they were previously 50%. Interrupted abilities now have a 3-second cooldown, so if I interrupt your radiant depression or something like that, you're not going to have a 3-second cooldown before you can use that again. But CC immunity prevents interruptions now. So if you chug a potion and then you use it, that will actually stay up. There's also going to be a red telegraph letting you know if an ability can be interrupted, which is kind of nice. So if you're new to the game, you don't quite know what can be and can't be interrupted, that telegraph is going to help you out. Synergies. Now synergies are going to be activated. Can be activated while using other abilities. So basically, you're no longer stuck waiting for something to come up to be like, click on this and do this while you're in the middle of your weave. You can just go ahead and click it off. Synergies now have a 20-second cooldown, so you can't just spam up 2 or 3 abilities at once. It prompts the closest member to the center of the ability. That's things for like shards, novas, etc. So it's only going to give the first 3 people in that closest to that center the ability to use it. Other abilities such as like Blood Altar, everyone's still going to be able to use that independently of that. Hit and refresh, you're still going to be able to use that, but that's specifically per character per thing. If it's a single synergy ability, only one person is going to be able to hit it, and the first 3 that are in the radius of it are going to be able to use it. They've also finely tuned several other synergy abilities. Again, I recommend go and take a look at the patch notes to take a look at everything that has changed with that, because there's a lot of stuff to read on that if you haven't. Block cost is getting reduced base to 1,730, which used to be on the 2,000s. But they're also reducing the stacking that you get with your jewelry and your sturdy enchantments or traits. Sorry. So you're not getting as much if you stack up the sturdy and the enchantments, but you're getting less on the starting end, so it kind of evens out in the ultimate sense of things. Off balance rework. So now off balance across the board should be lasting about 5 seconds. The bosses are going to be immune to it 15 seconds afterwards. So basically you're going to have 5 seconds uptime, 15 seconds downtime on top of that. It's only going to be used up if a monster can be stunned. So if you cast it on a boss and somebody immediately does a heavy attack, right now it kind of gets wiped out, but in the future that means it's if it can't be stunned, if it's already CC immune or something like that, it's still going to have the off balance, so you're still going to get your damage bonus on top of it. Heavy attacks are also going to restore more resources on enemies that are off balance too. Gap closers are getting a damage reduction across the board, about 20%. Not something too major, but it's one of the reasons they're doing it is because they're kind of seeing it overused, I guess. I'm not quite sure. Not 100% sure about the entire mentality behind that, because there's arguments about the snares that are coming with the gap closers being more important, but there's reasons for both. So you can take a look more on the forums for that and give a debate about it too. Major Defile is not, Major Defile in the current patch is not reducing buffs health recovery buffs from other items. So things like potions, Troll King, etc. is not getting affected by Major Defile in the current patch. In the next patch, that's changing. It's actually going to affect everything now. So people with Troll King builds are probably going to get hit harder when they have Major Defile on them and Minor Defile too. Immovable pots are getting reduced by 10 seconds, or down to 10 seconds from the previous 12.5 seconds they had. So that's going to be a reduction of the perma block builds and such. Dodge and block. Okay, certain AoE abilities certain AoE abilities can be blocked but not dodged. So things like Whirlwind, Cleave, Solar Barrage, these things can be blocked, but you can't just dodge roll through them to ignore the damage. In addition to that, certain single target abilities can still be dodged, and actually now a few others can be dodged. However, their abilities cannot be blocked. Now, it's still going to block the damage, but certain abilities that have like a dot attached to them, or a snare, or some other effect like that, you can't simply ignore the snare or the dot anymore because you blocked. That's overall, I think that's a pretty good thing there. So, PvE thing. Okay, let's get ourselves into game here. Hello. So we have 2 new dungeons with this next patch here. Flame and Scale Collar Peak. I'm wearing some of the armor right here. You can take a look at our YouTube page for a little bit more information about what these sets are and some of the items that we have. But you can find both of these in Bankarai. And Brimhaven. You can see here. So Scale Collar Peak, Fanglair. So these are kind of interesting dungeons. They have trophies inside both of them, masks, skins, personalities, 6 new sets, as with, light, heavy, medium in both dungeons, and 2 new monster helms. I would say from what we see in the patch notes and the sets that we have, 2 are probably going to be the highest metas that you can probably use. Is Jovild's Guidance. It's going to be a meta healer build, and Zane's, which is probably going to be a meta Magicka DPS build. I'm not sure if it's going to be used so much in PvE. I think in PvP it's going to be used a lot more because it actually casts a channel for Zane's. But you guys can, again, take a look at the patch notes. Take a look more information about that. New outfitting system, base game. So now you're going to have the ability to go into your character here and apply an outfit. I don't have one set currently here, but you can also unlock new outfits inside the Crown Store. And anytime you go to an outfitting station, aka what used to be a dye station, you can actually set your outfit stations. That allows you to set costumes or motifs that you have collected into it. Again, we have an entire video on that on the channel. You can take a look at that as well. Now, new houses. We're actually in one of the new houses right now. You can see here. Yay! See, it's a big palace. Now, these are going to come up with the base game. Actually, should probably mention the dungeons, like I mentioned before, that's going to be part of the DLC. You have to buy the DLC to get into that. The outfitting system is going to be base game. The housing is going to be base game, which includes a Cold Harbor Estate, Princely Delight Palace, and Elsewhere Sanctuary. So, again, Cold Harbor Estate, playing Cold Harbor. Princely Dawn's Delight, which is an area inside of the Thieves Guild DLC on the not the Gold Coast here, use Bane here, but you don't actually have to have the DLC to get in here. You just get in as normal. And then of course Elsewhere Estate. I'm not going to go there right now, but it's basically an abandoned Dark Hood Brotherhood sanctuary, which you can buy, purchase, and decorate however you want. Those are all going to be part of base game as well. In addition to that, we're also going to have housing storage coming up in this next patch. Housing storage can be purchasable with writs, Telvar stones, or with crowns. So go ahead and get that however you want to. I will mention that from what our review of it, you could probably take a look and see what the cost is going to be, but I think writs is probably going to be the cheapest out of all of the options there. Now, let's see. 2 other major things here. They're going to be With the modification of the outfitting system in the base game, they're also going to be modifying the drop rate marginally, supposedly, of some of the certain motif styles. So if you haven't already, or if it's the first day there, go ahead, go out, buy motifs and get them out of the way now, especially at the low price. You might see a small uptick once the outfitting system hits, especially you guys on console. You got a few more weeks before you get the actual patch, but go out, get your stuff now, and then come back and make sure everything's good. If you're on PC, you probably want to spend the first few minutes, hours, whatever, going through some traders, seeing if you can get some of the motifs and get your stuff done now. All right. Final item I have for PvE highlights is the new level up advisor system here. So as you level up, you're going to have a skill advisor, which is going to give you recommendations of different builds that you can put in. You can see the damage rolls, stamina magica, tank rolls, healer rolls, etc. You're gonna have this for every class that you can have in it. They're not bad builds, I would say. However, there's probably gonna be other builds that are gonna be more meta, more min-max, all this other good stuff. You can turn this off if you don't like it, but for you new players that don't have an idea of where you want to take your character, this actually might be a very helpful thing to you. In addition to that, you also have the level up advisor and reward system, which is going to give items and rewards as you level up your character. So just to go over the base stuff here, at level 5, 2 green quality rings, part of a basic 2-piece set, and grants max health bonus. Level 10, a Sorrel horse, which is going away from the merchants. At level 15, a choice of 6 blue quality weapons. At level 20, a costume of your choice and a flame atronach crown crate. Level 25, a choice of 6 purple quality weapons. At level 30, 4,000 gold and a flame atronach crown crate. At level 35, a choice between 10 purple quality crafting improvement materials. At level 40, 6,000 gold, a soul shriven motif, and the outfit token. At level 45, an undaunted key. And then finally at level 50, 10,000 gold and a flame atronach crown crate. The crown crates as part of the level up system is, I think, a good thing, because a lot of people have been complaining previously about, they're very predatory with the crown crates, and they don't, why do I have to do this? That actually gives you a way now, without actually buying it, that you can get crown crates without having to do any of the without having to spend a dime. Basically, you just make a new character every time that you want to get a new crown crate, and you level them up. That's fine by me, and I think hopefully other people will be interested in that as well. Now, PvP highlights. There's not much to this, but again, the combat stuff is going to be have a huge impact on PvP as well. They are working on improvements to Cyrodiil and everything else like that. However, just for some specific things here. Battlegrounds. There's going to be 2 new battlegrounds. I'm going to mess up the names here. More Kazgur and Deeping Drone. Deeping Drone. Seriously, that's what they said. Deeping Drone. That's going to be called Derping Drone. I don't know why. But anyways, an increase of AP to 10k and 7k. So it's going to be like 10k, 9 or 8.5k, then 7k for first, second, and third for doing a battleground. Also, I believe that they're going to be changing the battlegrounds over to non-CP. So folks that have, your 160 going into battlegrounds, you're no longer going to be really overpowered against people that are currently 690 as well. But still expect to get your ass handed to you because it's battlegrounds and there's a lot of people running pre-mades. Cyrodiil. Alien well buffs are now increased to 30 minutes instead of 10 minutes. So you're going to get that health buff a lot longer, and it's going to be a little bit more valuable. Certain CP reduced costs in non-CP will now be turned off. So people were getting reductions for sprinting and for blocking. That's going to be turned off and no longer working. You also can no longer be knocked through the grate. So if you've been in the keep and you've been setting up oil and you've walked on top of that grate that's right before the door and just knocked right through, that's not going to happen anymore. Finally, in Imperial City, Zivkin motif chapters drop a lot more depending on the Talvar, your Talvars. So if you have a high amount of Talvars, more Zivkin chapters will drop, but of course you're going to get more risk to get ganked, so that's up to you. In addition to that, again, housing storage items can also be purchased through the Talvars. So that's just some of the updates here, guys. I do encourage everyone to go ahead and take a look at the patch notes, which should be down below again. We also have a few highlight videos here of some of the different systems here on the channel. If you like them, go ahead, give them a like, etc. Share them with your friends. Hopefully this video gave you some time to just kill while you're waiting for the patches to drop. Anyways, I'm out here, guys. Have a good one. Not like Zivkin's